Nature is the broker between God and man. When you get your fingers dirty, you're like cooperating and working with the Lord to bring forth life. Are you feeling uncertain in your faith journey? Looking for a boost in your spiritual walk? Eager to deepen your relationship with the Lord? Welcome to Higher Ground, an elevated parish missions podcast where faith meets inspiration and community.
The life of a Catholic is meant to be a great adventure. Join us, and let's discover what awaits us on Higher Ground. Hey, welcome back to the Higher Ground podcast by Elevated Parish Missions. My name is Martin Watjen.
And I am Brian Hough.
You know, Brian, we're entering into spring season here, and I love to garden. I'm horrible at it, but I love it. I think it's the thought behind it that really gets me excited, that you can, do this manual labor, this hard work, which I really love being outside, and you get to reap the benefits of it, right? You see the things that come forward from that. And my kids love to plant the sugar snap peas because they grow super fast. They take zero effort and they can eat them just right off the vine. But then there's like more delicate things and more intricate things that take a little bit more fine tuning. We've got blueberries that take heavy acid. You've got grapevines, which just need a lot of compost. You've got tomatoes, which I feel like I can do no wrong. That's pretty much all I know how to do. And I've never gotten fruit from our apple or peach trees. So to save my life, I just can't figure that out. They come about yay big, and then they start to die on me.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about gardening is I also look at it as an opportunity to decompress and just kind of, be creative. But a priest many years ago once said to me, and actually to the congregation, he said, nature is the broker between God and man. When you get your fingers dirty, you're like cooperating and working with the Lord to bring forth life, to bring forth something of goodness, to then take it forth and to consume with your family at dinner, or if it's a flower, to take it to someone maybe who's sick. And so the beautiful thing about it is that not only does it allow you to help yourself in regards to, maybe getting rid of some stress, but allows you to cooperate with God, but ultimately to then share the Lord with someone else.
But it takes time, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not something that just happens overnight. So it takes our time. There's a little bit of investment into it. My wife would probably kill me. She'd probably prefer that we didn't do any gardening. It's probably cheaper just to buy it from the store. But there's something about that time, that investment that we put into it. And to reap from that, to see the gift that comes back forth from that, and to know that I had a part in that. That's a big deal, right? I mean, it wasn't something that was just handed to me, but it was something that I took and I invested myself into. And, with my kids are able to participate with me, and they're able to see the investment, the time and the energy I put into it as a lesson for them.
Well, I think it's used the word spring, and I know you meant it in the sense of a season, but it also reminds me with this topic of a spring that you recoil. I had done at a previous job an onboarding session, and it was about collaborating, and the little subtitle was Unlock the Potential. And I always would ask people, what does potential mean to you? Because it's kind of a lofty word that we say, but maybe not a lot. And generally speaking, they knew what it meant. But what I challenged them to do at the end of that session was that, yes, we went through, and yes, we discussed collaboration, what it means in the workplace, but none of that matters unless you unlock the potential of what collaboration can do for you. And I think that's what we are given by the Lord, and our gifts, our talents, our treasures are like seeds, right? In and of themselves, they have tremendous potential, but you have to unlock that potential through effort and through cooperation with God to take it to where the true fruit comes. And that's where I think where many times Catholics can fall short. They're unwilling to unlock the potential because why? It takes some effort.
Yeah, you sound like me talking to my 14-year-old son. He skates by in school right now, and I'm like, man, you have so much potential, right? Yes, you're getting okay grades, but what could it be, right? You're just skating by. I think that's kind of the mentality a lot of us take to the church, to Mass, right? We just skate by. We let other people do the work. We let other people do what needs to be done in order to have this building or these services or whatever it is that the church is offering. We just leave it up to somebody else. Like somebody else will do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, the kitchen ladies do the cooking, right? Or that's the guy, he's always the usher, Bob's the usher. And those are really good things. But again, it's a comfort zone. And many times we look at those actions that, that's for someone else. But God is calling each one of us in a unique way to do something that only we can do. And he's given us these abilities, these talents, these funds, whatever the resource is, to go forth and to take his kingdom and to grow it in a world, to produce fruit, whether it be physically in a vegetable garden or just in the garden of our hearts, to go forth and to allow it to be used to bring forth his kingdom to a world that's in great need of being fed by our Savior.
So what does the church need right now? It needs people to give of their time, their talent, and their treasure, right? And so I think for many of us, we hear the word, and all of that kind of falls under the word tithe. But the idea here is that you're giving of your things that you're kind of find sacred, right? You're giving from your want and maybe from your need a little bit to others to be able to help them grow. And for many of us, we think of tithing strictly as just financial, and that we're just going to give a percentage of our money and call it a day. And for some of us, we don't even do that. We think somebody else will cover the coffers. Somebody else will cover the cost of whatever, the roof or, the staffing there. But then there's more that we could, what would it be like if we all participated? What would it be like if we all gave of ourselves and our time, our talent, and our treasure to the church, who is there as a means of feeding us that we may go forth to bring that message to the world? But it starts a lot of times with the actual fundamentals of the actual church itself. So what are some ways that we could give of our time, our talent, and our treasure?
Many people, look in the mirror and say, I have no idea what I can do. And parishes even do the same. Many times parishes have this mentality of, well, you're a warm body, you'll do. We can help be part of that wellness program in our parish in a sense that we can look and say, God has given me these unique talents. And when I use them for his greater glory in my family, in my church, in my community, not only will it produce great fruit, but then I have skin in the game, and it allows me to become engaged in something that I really excel in. And when you do something that you really excel in, that you've been tasked to do as shown by your talents, not only do the fruits of those efforts produce really great results, but then you become even more excited. And that excitement can be truly contagious.
Think about the example that is for your family, right? For them to see you taking that step forward. Just like it is when we spend time out doing whatever it is out in the yard or whatnot, and really seeing a beautiful yard or a beautiful garden come forward, like you're saying, Brian. So I think we need to take a look at what is it that our skills or our talents are, and how could we offer that going forward. And I think something to note here is if you asked anybody who's participating already in a way that's giving of themselves, there's something life-giving about it. Yeah, it may take a little bit of time, but you ask somebody who's in the choir, you ask somebody who's one of the ladies doing kitchen, some of those meals, or people who are helping out with donuts, or maybe the greeters at Mass. There's something life-giving about giving of your time for the church.
Yeah, they always say the only way you can receive is with empty and open hands, right? Giving it away. So I think the challenge this week to our listeners is take a moment, driving to work, sipping your coffee in the morning, and pull back and say, what talents has God given to me? He's given those to me for a reason. Is there someone or something I can do, even just simple, in the week ahead, whether it be in my family, at church, in the community, where I can share a talent that not only I do well in doing, but that I can then lift someone else up and help them to have a better day.
Thank you for tuning in to Higher Ground. We hope today's episode has lifted your spirit and sparked your faith to new heights. Be sure to invite a friend to join us on this journey next time. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast, and stay connected with our vibrant community by following us on Facebook and Instagram for more updates and inspiration.
If you'd like to support our mission, visit elevatedparismissions.org and consider assisting us financially. There, you can also learn more about hosting one of our missions at a parish near you, or inviting us to your parish. Together, we can continue to elevate and inspire others to greater heights in their faith. Until next time, stay elevated and keep reaching for higher ground.